Hello, hello. Hi, Gabby. How are you today? God damn, this hurdy-gurdy is so pretty. All right, I have to work in Daz off screen for just a second. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pull up some references. I need to stylize. Let's see. I need to stylize a vampire real hardcore. Oh, and all of these look like garbage. I need good. Oh, this one's great. Not what I want, but this is fucking fantastic. He's so crusty looking. I'm doing okay. Today we're gonna be working on some art school homework. So I have a character that this Orlok from Nosferatu. Oh, he looks fucking great. Oh, this is really good. I need to stylize my figure a little bit more. Push him. This is pretty good. I actually like the work on this. Oh, but some of these are... This one's... Oh, they do have her link. I was like, man, why did they just steal this person's, like, artwork and not give credit? Yeah, so I need to look at... Oh, this is cool. I would not think that this is, like, a vampire hunter other than the fact that she's got a stake, though. This is brilliantly stylized. Oh, except this is AI. I do like the style here, though. You'd have to fix it. Yep, so point being, I have to wade through all of the AI to try and find... It's incredible. Try and find some designs that I can utilize as inspiration to try and figure out how I want to push the anatomy. Because I need this guy to be attractive, but... I think these are all AI, but I'm going to use them as reference, a jumping point anyway. I think that they are. Anytime anyone's like, I'm selling a 300 pack stylized reference pack in 4K for however much they're selling this for. For $4. Yeah, look at this character's eye. Look at her. She's fucking so cross-eyed. Definitely not AI, guys. It's totally not AI. Hi, Blue Breeze. I'm doing okay. I'm doing the prep for my medical procedure. The only reason I ask is because I like this gorilla's ass looking motherfucker. So maybe that's actually... Let me look at Jamie Hewlett's art. But yeah, I'm doing okay. So I'm effectively only allowed to have broth at this point, and I'm like fucking so hungry. This is brilliant. Gee, it's almost like if you make art with your actual hand. Okay, so let me get this, because I like the theory here. I wanted to just look at this for just a second, because this is more realistic proportions. Yeah, because there's not really a lot of stylization here. This is just a normal human doing human body things, and they happen to be a vampire, and that's fine. It's not more stylized than like the Witcher anime would be. That's very realist. So we're gonna ignore this. And this is too soft, but it's the same theory. Same theory. Thin legs, triangle torso. And then this is the same thing too. Thinner legs, but more on the realist side. Thinner legs, triangle torso. And Gorillaz has gone through different phases too, where Jamie's been either really stylized or more realist. I'm gonna look at Murdoch specifically. Beautiful artwork. Jamie's a very talented dude. Yeah, this is some old shit. This is the original shit. Interesting. It's so influenced in the beginning by early 90s cartoons, but then later, not so much. I really like this shit. This is good shit. This is not Jamie's work, but this is good. At the Angels and I would pull this open, but this one has fucking exposed wiener. No, we're gonna use this. All right, but how are you? How is everybody? What do y'all got going on? Lady in red. Lady Gaga has fucking infested the corners of my brain. Of course, it's not gonna let me. Particularly invested in these two. But I don't want them to be. It's almost, the style reminds me a little bit of like Wendell and Wild. What is Raul? He's got a really soft face, but actually, oh my god, they look so good. This fucking film. I had no idea that it was very like Harlem Renaissance inspired art. Incredible. Fucking incredible. This is fun. Again, really stylized, and I'm not going to go there, I don't think. Not that hard. But, oh man, I love this profile. What homework assignment am I working on? So effectively, the assignment that I was given is called the Lemon Test. So I'm working on my final portfolio for my degree. And the story that I've chosen to work on is King of Dust because I already had the lore and the world and everything like completely fleshed out, and that makes it easy. Super easy there. So knowing that, I am now having to go through and do the lemon test for my one teacher, which is to give Darius a lemon and just do what he will with it. Thankfully, Darius is a pretty straightforward character, and I know him very well, so I'm sticking with the concept of like him putting a slice of lemon in a goblet of blood, like a little martini, because he can't taste the lemon, but I think the sentiment would be like, it's still there. And that's just the way that it goes. But now I have to, I'm going to be restylizing my model because I want to drag it away from more Castlevania realism and give it just a little bit of character. Because ideally, if I were to, like, for example, pitch a game that is a King of Dust game, it would be something akin to the gameplay of, like, The Witcher 3, where you have, like, really great skill trees, and you're running around, and you have lots of open world stuff to do, and you're hunting monsters, and it's very fun, mixed with, like, the party building tactics of a Final Fantasy game. So I have a pretty good scope of what I want this to look like. But that being said, I do want this thing to have a little bit of character to it. And while I respect the art style of like the Witcher games, it's again a hyper realist looking game. Like the goal is for Geralt to look as human and real as possible. Versus with Final Fantasy 15, this is a little bit more stylized, and I like the direction of this a little bit more. Although this is still, I think, too realist. Almost still. Because we're moving in the right direction. Because I like the direction of Nomura's art more. Beautiful work. Beautiful, beautiful work. Because his stylization is a little bit more close to mine. But I don't think he did official art for this game at all, actually. I think he just does doodles for money and for fun. I think these were just promotional prints, if I understand correctly. So, but Nomura would be the right choice. But I need to push it a little bit more. So, I'm working in Daz right now, and I have to work in it off screen because the nippies on the chest. I wish that Daz gave me the ability to turn off the nippies. That would be dope. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do everything that I need to do. Because Daz is still restricted very intensely by realism. So what we're going to be shooting for is something more like this. So I need to work within the confines of realism while still also because this is so thin. Because this arguably, while it's stylized, it's still relatively realistic, but this is more so. If y'all have never seen the movie Monster Family, by the way, you definitely should. It's a German animated film, and it's fucking great. I just have to think about how much. I think I actually don't need to tweak this that much. Almost there. Alright, let me see here. Sorry I have to do this off screen, y'all. Hey Cal, how's it going? Yeah, I love Monster Family. I think it's a great film. I like the sequel as well. It's got a lot of character. It's very silly. The mom is great. And I like Dracula. This Dracula a lot as a villain, actually. He's very well written. Sorry, I'm trying to tweak shit in Daz, Cal. Alright. I'm gonna go in with like a thinner... There we go. Okay, so now, I think... What do I want to do with the face? This is where I get stuck. So the question is do I stylize this to all hell? Or do I leave it alone? Oh, it's go same. I'm over here drinking my fucking broth because I thought I could have breakfast this morning, and I can't. I can't. All I can have is broth because this is my hell. I'm like trying to figure out if I want to do a smaller head. Because of course larger head equals more friendly. But also stylized. Look at this AI shit. I can't believe the guy didn't even... I can't believe... Look at this girl. I can't believe that he didn't even think for 5 seconds. Maybe I should uncross her eyes. You know... I didn't think for a second to see if this hoodie actually functioned. Fucking AI. But there are some things to learn here. And the things to learn are in the shape of the coat. Things like that. So there are things to learn. Things to steal. Because if he's going to steal other people's artwork, then I'm going to steal back. So that's what he gets. Okay, I think I got it. Let me, save this asset out really quickly. I tweaked it just a little bit, and then now I need to get a pose, and then, because like the actual essence of this, I'm only supposed to draw a sketch. This is just to make sure that I have a good idea of my main character and who he is as a person. Oh, so here's the problem, is that this is not necessarily one piece of art that they stole, right? The AI is combining hundreds of thousands of different pieces of art to put this together, right? And so this is super offensive. AI art in its essence is super offensive because it's stealing not just from one person, but thousands of people, because it just took all of this artwork off of the internet. What the fuck is going on here? It took all the art off of the internet and is just feeding it into the training modules. So unfortunately what that means is that people like the concept artists for Wendell and Wild, they get their shit stolen. The art gets scanned by this AI, and therefore you end up with something like this, right? Because the AI looked at this, right? And you can see the similarities here. You just have to know what to look for. And so that's the problem. And there are certain, like, uses for AI. For example, I'm going to bring up a really cool thing that I found, and I do think that this is super neat. So this thing is called Tess. This is called Tess.design. This is an AI that's trained entirely off of your own work, and you can choose whether or not to make it public. So you can see here, I've uploaded my pieces into it, and I can generate with this model, but only I have access to it. And so it's not pulling from any other artwork from any place else other than the shit that I've given it and public domain works, because this particular AI is created by artists for artists. And so they were like, nope, we're not going to do that. And then this is also the only AI art model that allows people to get paid for their AI art. So it allows me to, what I do with it is I use it to generate thumbnail ideas, and that's pretty much it. I can tweak things, move it around as I need to, and I use this very sparingly, but this is a cool option to have. But that's not what people are working with, right? That's not what they're doing. They're using whatever generators they've got. Typically, it's like DALL-E or Stable Diffusion to just generate from nothing, to generate from text, right? And when you're doing that, you don't know whose artwork you're stealing. Because at least with those thumbnails, I'm not even using them in the final piece, right? I'm using them as reference for what I'm going to do. The ones that I made off of my own artwork, right? And that's one thing. But to do this, to just rip somebody's, who knows who the initial artists, hundreds of artists were for this style, for this lighting. I'm seeing a little bit of Lowish Van Barl in here. So this is Lowish. This is her artwork, right? You can see how stylistically, especially in the hair, this is a polygon model. I'm trying to find her actual artwork here. Like this stuff, right? You start to look at this and look at the face here, and you can see that in this is very much similar, right? And so this AI is just fucking ravaging a bunch of shit that it doesn't belong to it, only to produce a fucking 3D model of a girl with a fucked up face and one eye. And this guy thinks that this is acceptable to sell as if it's their own. What's the name of that site again? It's called Tess.design. And it's very cool. It's very cool. And you can create a model. You do have to pay them money in order to generate infinitely, because that's how they make their money, is through subscriptions, just like everything else. But it's the world's first properly licensed AI generator is what they are claiming here. Our mission is to empower creative people to leverage AI ethically. To this end, we've built a platform that allows creators to generate images in a consistent visual style, and for the artists behind those styles to be fairly compensated for their work. But yeah, Tess.design. Right. We believe that the software should be beautiful, transparent, and ethical, and we hope to bring this to our craft every day. Although AI can generate ideas or images, it cannot create or generate art. Art requires expertise, insight, originality, and a unique human perspective. We believe that people can leverage AI as a tool to brainstorm ideas and produce art without the richness of visual expression. So in other words, they're making this very clear that they're planning on using this as a thumbnail tool, and that's all. So I loved that about them. I was like, hey, this is neat. Like this makes sense to me, and so I really do I do like this. So if you're gonna do anything, this is the one that you probably want. But yeah, it's fucking unacceptable. Otherwise, like there should be no reason. Oh, I don't know if you're in my Discord, Gamby, but I had to deal with the drama of like I have a student in my class because I teach undergraduate art at a college, right? And I have a student who's fucking using AI now to do their homework, and so now I have to deal with that. It's fucking awful. Hi, Penumbra. I was hoping to leave a like. Oh, thank you before going to the doctor. Good luck with your doctor's appointment. I have to do that tomorrow. I feel you. And yeah, if you want to check it out, we're talking about which models are okay and, like, obviously why this fucked up AI vampire lady is a problem. She's... Yeah, it's really sad, Gamby. It's fucked up. So that's been what I've been dealing with for, like, the last 24 hours is as, like, an instructor, too. I'm like, you literally had one job, and it was to not steal this shit, you know? But let me get this little guy into a pose. I have a really good idea of what I want for him. I just need to find the right base for it, and then flow, right? Yeah, this looks good. Let's see. Can I push this back? And then I need to tilt this. And then I think... Let me grip this. I would really like to pull this out. Okay. And then I need to do some contrapposto here. Okay, sorry, I'm getting there. Fucking terrible AI shit. Let's see, I met an artist who programmed her own AI and trained it on photos that she took in public domain. Yes, that's exactly what Tess is. Yeah, that's exactly what Tess is that it's all public domain trained, it's ethical, but then what you do to make it your own AI art model is you put in your own artwork, and then they have a team of people who, when you go to get verified to sell the artwork, if you are not, like, say you're trying to make a style that looks like Loish's, if you're not Loish, then they shut that shit down. It's like, no, we know Loish, and this is not correct, you know? Yeah, I would be careful with Leonardo AI because that's still... The filter is like less bad, but to some extent, and I don't know how Leonardo AI works 100%, but I would assume that there are still generative properties to it, so be very careful with that. Because even if you're putting your images in and saying, hey, make this cohesive, in order to do that, the AI still has to pull from something in order to do that. And so inherently, it's pulling from not only the image that you fed it, but somewhere else as well, from other images that it's been trained on too. And Leonardo AI, as far as I understand, is not a public domain AI generator, so be very careful with that. But you're right, though. If you use the generative function, that can, like, there's no way to get an accurate image of what you want right out the gate. My youngest senior English class had a 90% fail ratio. Whoa, a 90% fail ratio on their last writing project because so many people used AI. Man, wow. Well, and it sucks. Okay, so here's an interesting factoid about me. I've used AI to write papers, but not in the way that you think, right? Because ultimately, the thing about AI is that it's only as good as the shit you feed it. Does that make sense? So, for example, I was able to tell that my student used AI to generate their text for an assignment because it was God, it's so hard to describe the art style of ChatGPT because it uses a lot of M dashes. It uses a lot of very intense words. It's one of its favorite words, for example, is enigmatic. Does that make sense? It's very weird. And I don't know why. It's like specific vocabulary. I don't know why. And so it's easy to spot, right? And so that being said, when working academically only, not creative writing, right? Academically only, if you have a good idea of what your paper needs to be, you can use certain language learning models to help you get to a place where you have maybe a solid structure for your paper, right? But you still need to do all the research. You need to make sure all of your sources are valid because ChatGPT, there's this thing that AI does that's called hallucinating. And that's when the AI legitimately will just make shit up. It just makes shit up. It's not real, right? And so that's where I find a lot of young students, they get totally blindsided by the AI because all of a sudden the teacher is like, hey, I need you to put this this source in here, and then it comes up with a source for something that doesn't exist. So without proper sources, you're not going to know. And then furthermore, without doing the actual research, like say you have like an academic paper, say it's about, let's go with the Harlem Renaissance, because I was just talking about that earlier in stream. You're looking at the Harlem Renaissance period, right, for art, right? If you have that, but you don't know who the prevalent artists were in the Harlem Renaissance, what you might get is, oh, here's these artists, I'm completely unfamiliar with their work, and then you're not going to understand the breadth or the scope of what they actually made, right? So then your paper lacks good information and depth because you're not actually bringing any kind of critical analysis to the paper itself, because you're just using ChatGPT to create something from nothing. And so then what you get, and this is where I'm sure that person, that teacher was able to catch it, because what it generates then is the same idea for everyone. And that's awkward. Super awkward. And it's awful. It's just awful. They claim to use only public image domain or domain images for training. Oh, I have to pay extra to not use public domain. Well, that's good. Okay, at least they're transparent. Yeah, at least they're transparent. I'll take that. Yeah, because the more models that we can find, the more AI models that we can find that are doing things by the book, because I believe Adobe Firefly was claiming to do the same thing, though I know that they got in trouble for backpedaling on that shit. So definitely keep an eye on what the models that you're using are doing if you choose to use them. But like the more resources we can gather to be able to do this ethically, the better off we're going to be. Because the problem right now really is that like it shouldn't be okay to steal other people's shit, you know? And the fact that these AI models are like Meta is going to court right now for scraping like 82 billion gigs or some shit. It's or 82 trillion gigs of public or of copywritten books to train its language model. So it just stole a bunch of authors' shit. It just stole it. You know, it's like, fuck you guys. Like, literally, fuck you guys. Oh, gosh, Penumbra, I hope you have an okay time at the doctor. Thanks for popping in. It was good seeing you. Did you hear about the author that got in trouble for using AI because she forgot to edit out the prompt? Oh, God. No, but that's funny, though. I mean, it sucks because in the self-publishing world, unfortunately, there are authors who legitimately will go and read like writer's fiction on like Wattpad or AO3, for example, and it's 100% original fiction. They'll copy the whole thing, publish it via Amazon KDP, and then claim it as their own, and then they just don't get caught. That fucking sucks. There's a book talk meme going around right now that's saying that because an indie book with an M dash is AI because humans don't use them in their review, bombing authors. Oh yeah, and that's true. Yeah, you just gotta be, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful because, for example, a good example of this, what I'm using to predominantly help me parse down fatal mechanisms. I'm not writing the book with AI. I'm using it to help me reduce word count. However, there's a massive asterisk that comes with that. I have had to get several of my books stolen off of Wattpad back. Motherfucker, that's the worst. Good luck, Penumbra. We'll see you later. Right, like that fucking sucks. That should not be the way that that goes. Anyway, well, the way that I'm parsing this down is using ChatGPT. I'm throwing it into ChatGPT and saying reduce the word count on this, and then I'm doing a compare and contrast. I'm looking at the original, keeping as much of the original zest that I can from the one that I actually wrote with my hands, cross-checking it to the AI, making sure the AI didn't add anything weird, because sometimes that happens, and then removing any weird issues with that, because there is a chance that there's just like this here, I might, because like Penumbra is saying, I don't need this, right? Making sure that it's cleaned up in a way that shows that I went back through and edited it and didn't just throw it into the AI and then cross my fingers and pray, because that's not what happened, right? The work is my own, the writing is mine, the story is mine, and AI can be used as a tool to create or to help you get to a final product, but it should not be the tool that you use to get 100% to that point. Like, that should not be how that works. Like, that's well, it's lazy. It's just, you know, it doesn't work like that. So, definitely kind of sad. It's just, I don't know, we're in a weird spot, because I do agree with the people at TESS, where I think that AI is going to be here to stay, but we have to create boundary lines for people to let people know, like the students in my class, it's like, you cannot use it to generate even your reference images. That's not how this works. You know, there are people at Blizzard who are getting fired for, you know, using AI in that way, because they use it to tweak their artwork at the end of the process, and it's like, nope, can't do that, don't even touch it, you're gonna get fired. And it's like, people need to learn that that's how that works. You don't get to use somebody else's artwork or to cheat. You know, like, this is not how it goes. And like, maybe I'm in the wrong. You know, I'm not necessarily an expert on everything truly, right? Like, and maybe I'm in the wrong for using ChatGPT to help me narrow down these words, right? But ultimately, I'm reading everything over. I'm re-editing and fixing everything again, even after that stage, so that the final thing that I turn in and give to this agent is not going to be generated by ChatGPT, you know? That's not how this works. That's rough, Blue Breeze. That's rough. But it's proof. So it's proof. Interesting story about that Amazon top 10. I know how to hit that top 10. It's actually quite easy to hit that top 10 as an indie author. You just have to be very smart. I've had a couple of my books be either #1 new releases on Amazon, #1 bestsellers on Amazon, #1 in the free category, all of that stuff. You just have to be able to know how to manipulate your keywords. So it of course now is a reflection that her books are not good. She just knows how to manipulate Amazon's back end to do good marketing to get her to that top 10 spot, right? Which are two different things. You know, I'm not a fan of using this graphite. So, I thought I was going to use the sketch graphite, but I am full of lies. Stew's done! Oh my god. Don't tease me. I can only have fucking broth. I'm so mad. I have beef broth. I'm like, I understand why they need to do what they need to do, but also... Actually, hold on, I'm going to open up Loish, actually, as a reference again, because... I'm going to look at her eyebrows. Come here, Loish, I'm looking at your eyebrows. I like how she stylizes her eyebrows. Yeah, so I don't know. I think as of right now, I think what people are mostly concerned with is knowing that there are authors, like I know that this agent is like, hey, is anything about this query generated with AI? And I'm going to have to be like, no. You know, because ultimately I didn't generate anything with AI and I wrote everything by hand. Like you guys saw me, you know, I'm on stream recording this whole process live, right? Like it's not an instance of going there. I watched with my papers. Yeah, well, that's why like it's going to have to start getting to a point where you know, I think that people are actually going to have to be comfortable with the fact that like this is how we have to make art, right? This is how we're gonna have to do it. Is people are gonna have to be okay with watching you draw horrible monstrosities like this. He says, "Hello, I'd like to take you to my castle." I did it, guys. I made AI generated art. Gasp, it's AI. Motherfucker, I'm okay. I remember when I saw a video about the creator of Jujutsu Kaisen using 3D to help speed up the process, and some idiot said that it was cheating. Or then after a whole debate, he ended it off with, let's use AI. Oh yeah, what an idiot. Yeah, no, that's rough. Well, because people don't understand that, like, this is, one, not only valid, and that's important to remember. If you are an artist that uses 3D tools, please use them. But two, you know, I just had a professor, Scotland Barnes, right now. Scotland Barnes... This is him, okay? He's a professional storyboard artist who has worked for Disney. So that's him. He's worked for Disney. This is his work, right? Beautiful storyboard stuff. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. He worked on stuff like this. It's Alice in Wonderland Bakery, which is cool. But if you notice, this is really what I want to point out. If you notice, This is his illustration for Alice in Wonderland Bakery, and you can see the entire 3D background is back here. This was an asset made by the 3D team to use so that way this instructor, this professional working on a Disney Junior title, because this is a Disney show, is using a 3D background to animate on top of. And he has outright said, if you do not do this, here's another demo that he did, using 3D here as well. And this is a professional workflow for Disney animation studios. Here's another one. So, if anybody wants to complain about that specific issue, they can go literally choke on a nugget. Like, here's another one. This is how 3D is actually used in a storyboard. This is property of Disney Television from Elena of Avalor. So they actually have this 3D boat that they made, right? And that's cool. And so that's the point. That's the point, is that in the industry today, is that you have to work fast. And so for me, if I can have this model of my guy in the background, and I can use this to create my stuff, that's going to just speed me up. And I've had somebody come into my stream, actually, and do the same thing. He literally wanted to get into an argument with me about my process. He was like, well, you're a fucking sham. And I was like, you can go. I literally banned him. I was like, get the fuck out of my stream. I don't want to talk to you about it. And Embolden's Able is claiming that photos of disabled people are AI generated, so they report them to get them taken down. That's terrifying. That's fucked up. I hate that shit. Backgrounds suck. I don't want to redraw it for every shot, right? Exactly. Exactly. And especially for things like this too. Like, this is an exercise where it's just a quick little sketch. And of course, like, you want to know what's crazy too, is that somebody who teaches this technique has only improved my anatomy, if that makes sense, right? This shit has made it, because I've traced over anatomies so much. When I went to go and do my life drawing portraiture assignments, because I was using this technique here digitally, and my hand was getting used to doing that, when I went to go do my portraiture assignments, this, like, I don't like drawing hands at all. All of a sudden, I could draw hands. And it was the most bizarre shit. It was like I had unlocked the nth dimension in my brain, and this was done entirely with NuPastel. Using a reference, but, like, you know, it's just wild. It's wild. And, like, is this the best hand in the whole world? No, this finger's all fucked up. But, like, point is, for a practice, that's crazy. And so what it's doing is it's training my muscle memory. It's training my muscle memory so that way when I go in and do things traditionally, all of a sudden it's fucking good. And I don't think people understand that that's what this does. And it's crazy. Oh, speaking of bots. Quick, somebody kill it. Kill it with fire. Be gone, thought. Let me get him. Let me get him. Get out of here. I got him. Okay, cool. I killed him. Get out of here. Yeah, tracing can help with bettering your art. It won't be the same for everyone, but it'll help some people. Well, and it's interesting because I've had several professionals, like one of my favorite teachers in undergrad, actually, his favorite exercise in the whole world was actually tracing professional or like classical artists. So, for example, Michelangelo's David over and over and over to help him get better anatomy, because that helped him with his sculpture. He was like a professional, wonderful sculptor. Let's see, Yenny. It might have been with 2 N's. Yep, this is him. Where did it go? Right, so this is a physical sculpture. This is not 3D. This is Yenny. Oh my god, I bless this man. He hasn't updated his stuff in a while. I wonder if he retired. Yenny, where's your thing? Right, so this is his work. Let me see. Going back up here. I wish he had more examples, but this guy traced. This guy traces. And he uses it to improve his anatomy, so when he goes to make these sculptures, he can feel with his fingertips and his eyes. He can feel with his eyes. That sounds so fucking crazy to be able to actually get better. But it's super nuts because there's even like, I was looking at a really cool article for a piece of tech that was invented recently to help pianists get over what they call the piano plateau. And so, for example, that can happen when you are working on a piano piece, and I've had this happen to me a lot. You're working on a piano piece, and then all of a sudden, you can't get any better. Your fingers just stop functioning. You know, you might be good, but you can't get any better. And it's like, why does that happen? And the answer is your body develops negative muscle memory. So suddenly, you're trapped in being almost good at the piece, but not quite good enough. And that's super frustrating for people who have to play these concert piano pieces in like the most insane way possible. And so this Japanese engineer invented this thing. It's literally an exoskeleton that goes, piano hand exoskeleton. It goes on the outside of your fucking hand. It's crazy. It's this bitch. This thing. It goes on the outside of your hand and it twitches your fingers over and over and over. Sometimes in specific patterns, sometimes random. And what this does is it reteaches your fucking hand how to play the piano. This is the equivalent of tracing for playing the piano. And what it does is it rewires your damn brain. And so then when the pianists take this glove off and then they go to play the piano again, they can play better. And that shit's nuts. And so, yes, we have scientific evidence that, like, tracing or, like, the effectively, like, muscle memory, like, equivalent of tracing does work. It does work. So it's asinine. People who make weird arguments like that, they don't understand how art works. Whoops. Whoa, my arm. Because ultimately, even though I'm using this as a base, you know, like, I would not be able to get this without knowing principles of art, without knowing how to pose the figure in a way that, like, has contrapposto, any of these things. That would have been so helpful when I was trying to learn piano. Yeah, it does help. It does help. That's why people, like, knock the, I think about the things where it's like, the keyboards that light up and they show you how to play the song by lighting it up. But it works. I wonder what this brush does. Hold on. I found a brush earlier in my stuff. And I don't know what this does. I actually don't like that. I take it back. Yeah, you can't break the rules unless you know how to actually do the art. It just doesn't work that way. And people don't like to hear that. They don't like to know. Which is why AI art will never work, because people, unless you understand, and I guess maybe that's really my point with ChatGPT, if that makes sense, right? Unless you understand the elements and principles of design, you're not going to be able to produce good AI art. Your compositions are not going to be compelling. Your I guess, like, the best way to describe it would be like, actually, I don't like this as much. Your color schemes are not going to be as compelling or strong. Your character designs are not going to be as good because you can't do that research. You know, you can't, your brain is not thinking critically in that way. And it's the same thing for writing, where it's like, yeah, sure, you can tell ChatGPT to generate something for you, but if you don't have, there's like for me, essential components that go into making a novel. And like, this is what I tell people when they ask me to developmental edit for them. You have to have some kind of fucking message behind your work. Your work has to mean something, right? And for my portfolio classes, they're having us go through and do these exercises, like one that's called a story spine, for example, right? And for mine, let me read you, like, the goal is, and like, not to show off all of my assignments or anything here, but this is really important. What's most important about this here is that they have here the moral of the story, theme, thematic idea, and values. And if you don't have those things in your writing sucks. And you want to know what ChatGPT can't come up with? That. It doesn't know what that means. Because that's the human aspect of the art. And so, without that, you have nothing. And that's why these AI books will always fall flat, because there's no core. Now, is that to say that the AI will never be able to produce those things? No. But then at that point, the AI is self-actualized, and that should be that AI's book. The AI should be getting a ghostwriter fee for that. You should be paying the AI to make that shit for you. Not the developers, the AI, because at that point the AI is self-actualized, and we're living in the year fucking 2050. We're living in Fatal Mechanisms at that point. And that's a different story, because yeah, at that point that is that robot's original work, and it needs to be considered like that. It needs to be considered as such. But I don't think we're there. And until we get there, people need to acknowledge that their work is not going to be original. Yeah, we're living with the robot uprising at that point. Yeah, right? We're living in literally Isaac Asimov's iRobot. And eventually, maybe we will make it there. But as of right now, we won't. So it's tough. And that being said, you've gotta just come up with your own shit. And can you use ChatGPT, like, after you come up with that idea and you have an incredibly solid outline and strong message, can you use it to do research? Yeah, sure. Like, when I'm researching mafia stuff later, like Russian mob stuff for future books, probably I'm going to use ChatGPT as a launching point for my research. I have to double check every single one of those fucking sources. If they're books, I got to go check them out from the library. You know what I mean? I need to read them with my eyes. Like, you can't just have it completely carry you across the finish line. And that's really, I think, what people are trying to teach folks, is that it's like, It is a very cool tool, but you have to be able to do other stuff with it. And even then, that bitch hallucinates. Even then, you gotta watch out. Guess what? I'm hydrating off of fucking broth. I'm so hungry, y'all. I'm glad that your stew is good. Yeah, I like at this point I'm gonna have to, and I'm gonna start to get to a point where I don't like the flavor. I know I'm gonna get to tomorrow, and I'm gonna be like, I literally would rather starve than eat broth. People are gonna look at this and be like, oh, so you like Tetsuya Nomura a lot, and I'm gonna be like, yes. I don't play any Final Fantasy games, but boy howdy do I love his fucking work. Alright, so now I need to think about what I'm doing here. Honestly, I'll take whatever information you want to give me about the horse. Because that just means that it's going to be accurate to what your vision is, and that's all that I can ask. Truly. Okay, so now I'm going to open... Let me go back over here. I also need... this bitch. Just to look at it here. Because I like this design more. And I might actually, like, shrink this down. This way. That looks good. It's a little bit longer than in that illustration that I sent into my class, but... because I really like this popped collar. Yeah. And then I did an asymmetrical... because this is what gets us good shape design here. Yeah, wave pool is going to be not so bad. Because wave pool, I just get to draw a dog, but it just happens to be an ocean textured dog. That just becomes Disney's Elemental at that point. That's like significantly less bad somehow. Okay, so this one I just did kind of a sharp. Shire horse, back half of a rooster. Oh, whoa. He's weird to describe. Okay, but like, okay, so I'm imagining kind of griffin-like then, sort of. Or cockatrice-like. Interesting. That's cool. Badass. Ah, a Hippolectron. Or a Hippolecteron. That's my eyes. I can read. Okay, cool. Okay. Gives me at least context. There's an issue here. Oh, I'm a dummy. Fucking geometry. Alright. Yeah, see, just because you have the model underneath doesn't mean you can do shit on top. And that's really the message. Is that just because you're using the 3D model does not mean anything. There we go. Better. Okay. And then we pull this. Like under here like this. Okay. Okay. Let me just make sure really quick. Oops, 2.1. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and make sure that my, like this, I'm gonna really need to clean up. I have to get this drawing done today, so I need to kind of speed it up here. I need to speed it up, friends. 3 on the other side. I love this stupid man and his dumb little face. Just saying. I don't like this. Hold on. See, that's called a pauldron, right? Yes. I need something different here. Something that's cooler and has more asymmetrical balance. And I'm not sure I like this, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna finish this portion, because this is fine. Because, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of whatever this is. I'm going to go ahead and reduce. Oh, my God. Reduce this down. We're going to do a new layer. I don't know. Okay, let me think. Okay, while I am malfunctioning, I'm gonna draw what I know is accurate. That's just all I gotta say is meh. Y'all, I'm so hungry. Why would they do this? I'm never doing this again. I don't even care if I fucking get colon cancer in the future. Like, what the fuck? I don't even care if I die. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. Okay, I'm actually gonna try this. Maybe like a big old gem here. Because then it can be kind of blood droppy, I guess. And I like the pauldron, like, shape here. That's pretty, like, classical. Oh, man. I'm so hungry. This is the fucking worst. Yeah, it'll be easier to not die when you move. True. Okay, because let me start here like this. This is where this gets tricky. think I'm gonna do like a... I don't know, maybe like a floral texture there? I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much for this particular design because this is like just the like Doodle Bob stage of this entire fucking thing. Oh, come on, hand. Because, like, in a game environment, you could have literally the most detailed fucking pauldron of all time. And I'll get there, but for this assignment, it's just, it's just a doodle. So, I'm gonna go with that. Sure. That's looking pretty. That's fine. This is fine. Oh, I'm so fucking... God, I'm literally only going to be able to think about food. And that makes me really sad. This is so tragic. This is traumatic. Okay, so I like this. I might even like bring this down like this. Boop. I'm so crusty. Yeah, I'm so hungry. I'm just gonna want to, like, not wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna be like, put me in a coma through the entire thing. You know, see. I'm gonna start actually. Oh, that was my Bob Rafi right there. Coming out. And, like, I get it. It's important to fucking do. And I love that. I'm so here for the proactive medical care. But, like, god damn. God damn. That's the vibe. Oh, guess who hasn't saved this the whole time? It was me. I'm a bold and dumb human. Oh, yeah. You know, correct. That's really all that I could ask for was Taco Bell yesterday. That is true. That is true. Well, and I have a lot to look forward to. Tomorrow we're going over to Jace's family's house and we're gonna make some food from a country called East Timor. And it's near Malaysia, as far as I understand. Let me look at the map again. Like, where are you? Oh, it's near Indonesia. Yeah, near Indonesia, so that's cool. But for, like, context, there's Papua New Guinea, and then the Philippines are also right there. So this is kind of like a little golden triangle of goodness here. And so the food from East Timor is similar to Filipino food, and so we're going to go over and make mackerel, grilled mackerel, and this like really cool tamarind sauce to go with it. And Jace's mom is really excited. She's pure and good. So I have that to look forward to consume. And I am excited. And I'm going to be... Then also on Saturday, we're going out to a Filipino restaurant with his family as well. So all in all, it could be much worse. Let's see. There we go, better. Let's see, I need to pull this in. Yeah, so I just got to remember that, like, right afterward, I'm going to be able to go and make some really good food, and that'll be okay. This is actually, like, the first full body art that I've done of Darius ever. So... I get to explore. I have to do research on shoes. You will survive. You will thrive. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna fucking try. Can you get out of here? I don't need you. Thank you. Alright. How much do I want to do this? A decent amount? Let me see. This is fine. I might have to move some of the hands. Or some of the fingers. I think I am, actually. Hold on. So, this is where this becomes kind of a pain in the ass. So we're going to curl the hand underneath, and then the goblet is going to go out and up like that. So it's going to go like this, and then like this, and then like that. Or maybe a little bit more. And then like that. And then this stem goes down, and then the actual base of the goblet goes like that. Is it the most elegant? Not necessarily, but it'll do. And then this thumb supports the goblet. Okay, and then in here, we're gonna have the blood. And then this is my lemon. Gonna make a new layer. We're gonna make a lemon. And then we're gonna move my lemon. Like that. And we got our lemon. Because that's an important thing to include in this thing. Is you have to include the lemon. God damn it. I'm like legit gonna go lay down and cry. And then somehow I'm supposed to still do work. He's fine. I'm supposed to still fucking do my actual job. Somehow. In all of this. While being so distracted by hunger that I can't, like, think. What the fuck is going on? Okay, I only have about 30 more minutes before I have to go to do my office hours for my students and accept my offer for... Oops, that's incorrect. For my classes next semester. This is so cursed. Hello? Hello? Okay, cool. What is happening? Hydrate. Oh my god, with what? This broth? Am I staying hydrated? Yes. Do I want to die? Also yes. Fears come to life. Who are you? So I love you. You're pulling right back like deja vu. Oops, actually. Good. And I'm twisted. I'm twisted, Joe. What if I just combust? I knew this was gonna happen too. I was like, it's only a matter of time before I start to get like actively hangry. I'm gonna probably go through like an entire pint of like apple juice by myself. Oops, hello. Actually, I'm gonna redo like I'm gonna redo this. Like that instead. So that way there's a little bit of a tuck. So we got some like contrasting stuff going on, and then there is like a sash here. Another day, another headache. Oh my god. Did I ever tell you all about the time that I did this thing called the Colorado Cleanse? So, there was at one point where I was dating a guy for a really long time, and he, let's see, how long is this thing? This is like below the knee. He had celiac disease, right? So he could not eat the wheat, and at some point he was like, you know, I've just been having such bad headaches and stuff, like I need to get the remnants of the gluten out of my body, because the gluten proteins can build up in your body, especially if you are a person who cannot digest them properly like he was. So I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm allergic to gluten, because I might have a sensitivity. Like, that might be why I have such bad acne. It might be the reason for a lot of stuff, you know, so it's always a good idea to fucking check. And I will do the Colorado Cleanse with you. I'll do this cleanse with you, so that way you can get the shit out of your body, and then also, too, I will be able to determine whether or not I have a gluten issue, or maybe even a sugar issue, because really this cleanse was meant to also cleanse sugar as well. Mostly just inflammatories in general. So this thing was like a 2-week cleanse, and you start reducing your lovely inflammatories out of your system, and by the end of it, like, or in the thick of it, truly, effectively what you're eating is khichdi, which is an Indian, like, mung dal, like, style curry that's effectively bland, flavorless, and what you feed to people who are very ill. So it's like nothing. You've got nothing. there. You are melting down a teaspoon or more of pure ghee butter and eating it just directly, because that's how you're getting your fats, because otherwise you're not eating any fats, nothing of that sort. No dairy, no cheese. Your vegetable intake is incredibly limited. You can't get carbs through grains, but like I'm talking like their lunch and what was considered a treat was a rice cake with salted tomato paste smeared on it. And the reason is because you're trying to shock your body so bad, get all of the sugar out of it, everything that could possibly be a problem. That includes fruit sugar as well, so I wasn't even eating apples, anything. When I tell you, I know now what it's like to be on crack cocaine. I do. Because that sugar detox was the worst fucking thing I've ever done in my whole life. I was tweaking. Like, I have never been so fucking angry in my life. Because, like, right now I'm hungry. Right now I'm like, man, I could, like, really eat something right now. I wish that I could eat because I'm fucking hungry. But on that cleanse, no shit, because your body, like, sugar is more addictive than cocaine. If you have a lot of sugar, which most people in the modern era do, and so what resulted is literally sugar rages. Like, I was sitting in places being like, I literally would kill someone for a fucking donut right now. Like, I would commit a crime for a donut. And it was horrifying. It's the worst, and apparently I'm not the only one. No, like for real. Like if you look up people who have done sugar cleanses or who are doing sugar cleansing, like I would recommend it. I actually would recommend it to literally anyone, because I like the last video that I watched. I watched this dude who does very great history videos on TikTok, and he's doing a sugar cleanse right now, and he's like, last week I felt like shit doing this cleanse. I wanted to fucking kill everyone in my immediate vicinity, but he's like, now that I'm on the other side of it, I can see the fucking inner workings of the universe. I can talk to God. But like legitimately, that's what it feels like, because your brain is now so clear. You are like I felt like I was like Bradley Cooper in fucking Limitless. Like, it was the most insane shit ever, because your brain just doesn't function as well on that much sugar. And what it really did for my body was like it reset 2 decades worth of sugar addiction that I didn't know I had, really, which was really cool. Now, does that mean that I don't eat sugar now? Absolutely the fuck not. I had like a massive Gatorade yesterday, so there's that, you know. But it definitely changed how my brain worked. So I would recommend it to anybody just to do that nice reset. But like, people need to know that they have to be prepared for your brain to just completely flip its shit. Like, you are going to have a problem. Like, it's going to be horrifying. And it made food taste different too. Like, all of a sudden, like, part of it was the starving Victorian child syndrome that happened right afterward. But part of it was like, oh, I went to go eat this Apple, after 2 weeks of doing this, and the sugar flavor, the fructose in the apple is so sweet. Because your brain is like, what is this? I forgot what this was. I forgot what this tastes like. And you're like, oh, like crazy. It's just like, it's really fucking weird. But yeah, if you really want to do something impactful for your health, that's the bitch. But it's also simultaneously, legitimately the worst thing I've ever done. Worse than this. This I can deal with. Hunger I can deal with. But that level of crazed fucking just rage. Holy shit. Yeah, definitely was good for my, like, inflammatory system, too. I was, like, a cold fighting machine. I'm gonna ignore his boots for now because I don't know what I want to do. I'm almost wondering... I do like that more. Yeah, you have to do it. You have to do the fucking thing. If you are going to do something like that, do it when you know that you don't have anything going on. Because you will not be able to fucking function. That's like, it was insane. But, on the plus side... Did it fix my boyfriend's like autoimmune system? Abso-fucking-lutely. Did it clear out our systems to such an extent that he felt way better afterward? Absolutely. So that was cool. So the bitch works, but like, goddamn, at what cost? See, and this is just a... Hey, Blue Breeze, thank you so much for that sub. That was so nice. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Let me see here. Come on, hand. Welcome back. We are almost done with this shit. I have to figure out what I'm doing with his boots. And I don't know what I'm doing with the boots. Am I gonna put it in this? Yes, I am. Darius is a pretty little bitch, man. Yes, I know my office hours are in 10 minutes. I have to scream. I'm busy. Trying to get my homework done. Oh my god. Can you please zoom the fuck in, Photoshop? Come on now. Okay. Okay, but this is looking good. All right, now I need to look up Turkish boots. Turkish boots. Oh, they got fun toes. They're called Seljuk boots. They're beautiful. I'll stick with it. Oh, let's see. We need like some rinkies here. If I can get done with this. I'm gonna be really happy. These boots have like the smallest heel of all time. They really don't have a lot of a heel. But I also want his little cankles to look awkwardly tiny. If you kick Darius in the ankles, he'll die. That's I don't make the rules, I just draw the character. I know I'm looking at a reference, but like I don't like this. That's better. Interesting that this comes up and around the back. Has little cankles, it's true. I don't know why I do this to myself, where I draw shoes that have like notoriously difficult anatomy. But I guess it helps get really good at it. Cankle, cankle, cankle. See, and then on the side they actually have a seam that goes up the front, so I'm actually gonna indicate that seam here because these are beautiful boots. I wouldn't want to diminish the quality or the historical accuracy of the shoe like that. Oh, there's a tangent. Bastard! Alright. That's okay, that's better. I think I'm gonna have to... Sorry, buddy. Now, is that a little bit of a tangent there still? Yeah, but it's not as bad. I'll take not as bad. That's better. I am so hungry, angry right now. And I'm mostly mad because Jason and I made the most wonderful risotto last night, and it's in the fridge right now. I could go eat it right now. I could go consume right now. Don't you just love drapey fabric? Wowee. But on the plus side, I think that we're pretty much done. Hydrate. Almost done with my broth. I'm gonna go get some apple juice after this, I think. I'm actually going to bring this up a little bit more. So this goes even more too. There we go. I'm just gonna leave that alone in the back there. Holy Lord. Alright. Okay, well, I gotta go do my office hours. At the very minimum, we now have a functioning sketch. And that's all that I can ask for. But I do need to go though. I need to be good. I'm like, I'll just add this one more thing. I don't have time. Not like any of these kids are gonna show up, but like, you know, at least it'll be here. So now I just gotta finish this thing up. I'm gonna add some. Oh, I have to add his locket. That's like the last thing that I need to add. But now I gotta go. So thank you so much for hanging out. I'll be back on Monday, probably with more homework. So I'll see you then, and I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.